Hi guys, it's Stock Curry, and the stock market is on a massive rally, but will it continue? And what's next for earnings? We just had Netflix report, now we've got Tesla on tap. We're going to talk about all of it in today's video, so let's get into it! So far, earnings have been really bad, and that's why we're seeing the stock market go on a massive rally! I'm not actually joking. This is really the reason why stocks are up. You see, the problem right now is that over the past 6 months, stocks have tanked a lot. And it's all been because of fears over earnings going down massively. You see, over the past 6 months, stocks have been dropping due to high inflation and then later due to fears of the Fed raising interest rates. Now, really, the stock market did not go down because of inflation and interest rates. In reality, the stock market only goes up or down because of earnings, or more so, earnings expectations. And it was the high inflation and rising interest rates that caused people to fear that earnings would go down massively. Well, as it turns out, earnings have not gone down massively. They've only gone down a whole lot. So because the market was already pricing in horrendous earnings, and the earnings have only been really bad, people are relieved. Companies are beating earnings expectations left and right, and the stock market is on a massive rally. Now, will this continue? Well, it all depends upon whether companies continue to beat these horrendous earnings expectations, or if their earnings come in even worse than horrendous. I don't know what that looks like, but if it happens, then the stock market will go down. For now, though, people are really relieved to see that earnings are only down about 30% in most cases. Yeah, it's really bad, but it's not as bad as expected. So let's get into some of the earnings that we've had, and let's talk about some of the earnings that are coming up. But first, I've got to talk about an industry segment that has started to rise and why. Cruise lines jumped after the CDC ended their COVID-19 program. In other words, you no longer have to be vaccinated, you no longer have to be masked, you no longer have to be quarantined if somebody in your ship has COVID. It's great! Cruise lines are now free to set their own rules. Travelers are now free to go enjoy cruises with a lot less restrictions. This should be a big boost to the cruise industry, and that's why cruise stocks are rising. Okay, that's the one bit of good market news I have. Let's get into the earnings that happened today, and we're going to start with Netflix. Netflix lost 1 million subscribers in the last quarter. It was its worst quarterly loss of subscribers ever, and Netflix shares jumped 8%. What the heck? Well, like I said before, even though 1 million lost subscribers is terrible, it wasn't quite the horrendous 2 million loss that was actually projected. So because Netflix only lost 1 million subscribers instead of 2 million, people are like, oh cool, that's great, let's go ahead and buy it. Now, in the other parts of the news, the earnings were really mixed. They did beat on earnings, however, they missed on revenue. And also, even though they technically had a beat on how many subscribers they lost, the projection in the future is that they're going to add about 1 million subscribers. Now, I personally have no idea how they're going to go from a loss of subscribers in Q1 and a loss of subscribers in Q2 and somehow gain 1 million subscribers in Q3, but that's what they're projecting. We'll see if this projection lasts. As you might recall, the last earnings season, quite a few companies came out about 2 to 3 weeks after reporting earnings and lowered their projections. But if these projections last, then we might see Netflix stock continue to rise. For now, though, it is up 8% after hours on Tuesday because earnings weren't quite as horrendous as people were expecting. All right, now let's move on to the earnings that everybody wants to know about. What is going to happen with Tesla earnings after the close on Wednesday? Well, nobody knows. we're all clueless here. But we'll go ahead and do some analysis to show you guys what to watch out for. So Tesla earnings are impossible to predict, but Barron's recommends watching out for two other points instead of their actual earnings, since this quarter was kind of messed up with the whole lockdowns in China thing. Forecast for vehicles delivered in Q2 started out at around 350,000 units, but the company only delivered 254,695 cars during Q2. That was a 27% drop from the original forecasts. Fewer deliveries reduce revenue, but the damage is likely to be worse in terms of profits. Now, of course, we already know what Tesla's deliveries were. That part of it has already been priced in, which is why Tesla is trading at around $700 a share, not $1,200 a share. But let's get into some of the other things that we need to watch out for during these earnings. At first, with the terrible delivery numbers, it looks like Tesla is going to absolutely have a horrible earnings this quarter. However, the setup for the second quarter results is actually very similar to what happened in the first quarter. Tesla in Q1 had delivered fewer cars than Wall Street expected, but forecast of earnings had barely budged. And when earnings actually came out, they were higher than expected at $3.22 a share, almost $1 higher than Wall Street had actually projected. And as it turned out, the prices for Tesla cars had risen enough and they were actually better than forecast, and as a result, the inflation and the rising cost did not hurt as much as expected. Now, inflation is still a problem, and no doubt inflation has gone up. But vehicle prices have also continued to go up. Prices for Tesla vehicles are up 25 to 30% year over year, and inflation is only up 9% year over year. So we have rising prices, we also have rising costs, and we also have a little bit lower delivery numbers. However, the rising prices and rising costs may have turned out to have been a wash, given how much Tesla's raised the prices of their vehicles. Now, all of those complexities mean that Tesla's second quarter earnings likely won't offer a clear picture of where the company's prospects are for the near and medium term. So Barron's is recommending that we pay attention instead to cash flow and order rates. If Tesla turns out to have generated any free cash flow, then investors should be pleased and the stock price will most likely rise. Regarding orders, investors will probably have to wait for the earnings conference call at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time in order to find out how orders and demand are doing. So when Tesla earnings are released Wednesday after the close, most likely you're going to see a pretty big jump in the share price right when earnings are released. However, it's really that earnings call and the future forward guidance that's really going to matter for Tesla. We already know Tesla had a tough Q2 due to the shutdowns in China. The question is, what are they actually forecasting for Q3 and Q4? And we're going to have to wait for the earnings call to find that out. So no matter what happens to Tesla's stock price right when they report earnings, it could have a massive move in either direction once the earnings call actually starts taking place. So ignore the price action when earnings are released and wait for the earnings call before you really have a good sense on where Tesla stock is going to go. Overall, we know it's going to be a really bad quarter. However, there is a good chance that Tesla stock price is still going to rise if it turns out that they had free cash flow and Tesla reports good forward guidance for Q3 and Q4. All right, if you want to keep up with what plays I'm making during this whole earnings season, then I encourage you to come join my VIP Discord. Today we made a 38% profit on an NVIDIA credit bull put spread. That's a vertical option play that makes money if the stock goes up. Obviously, NVIDIA went up today. When it hit my $171 price target, I sold. That happened to be the high of the day. I didn't know that was going to be the high. It was pure luck. Nonetheless, we made a 38% profit on that. And there were actually some people in the Discord that did a weekly call option. Way too risky for my blood, but they did, and they profited with a 200% profit. Absolutely insane, but I'm so happy to see people in the Discord making money with us. If you want to make profits in your portfolio, possibly make a 38% profit on a day trade, then come join us in the VIP Discord. Now, I mentioned in yesterday's video that I had reopened it and we only had 500 slots available. Nearly 80 of those slots have already been filled in the last 24 hours, so I only have 420 slots left. After these 420 slots are full, I'm going to close it down and we're not going to have it open for regular signups ever again. So if you want to guarantee your spot into the Discord, you have to be one of the last 420 people to sign up. You think about it, I get 7,000 to 8,000 people that watch every single video. I only have 420 slots left. We had 80 sign up yesterday. So if you do the math on that, we're going to be sold out within about 5 days. After this, you're going to have to go through a whole application process and be approved before you will be allowed to join in. So if you want to guarantee your slot, you've got to get in now. There's only 420 slots left. Don't miss out. If you want to sign up for that, you can sign up at stockcurry.vip/getvip. That's stockcurry.vip/getvip. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking about the Moomoo Millionaire Club Challenge. When are we going to get that started? Well, that's going to be starting in August. This Saturday, I'm going to lay out a foundational video where we're going to go through some of the tactics that we're going to be using in order to build this account and grow it up. For now, I just want to encourage you to go get that Moomoo account opened. The promotion for those 10 free stocks ends at the end of this month. So you have to sign up and get your account funded by the end of this month if you want your 10 free stocks. If you don't fund it by the end of this month, you might miss out on those 10 free stocks. You can sign up for Moomoo at stockcurry.vip/Moomoo. That's stockcurry.vip/Moomoo. And if you're in Singapore or Australia, we have different promotions for you. Check the description of the video for your links and your promotions. I hope you got a lot out of this video, and I hope you guys have a lot of success trading. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, click the bell icon and click all so that you can get notified when I release my next video. And I will see you tomorrow.